For the first time in my life, I went to Italy for a film festival called the Giffoni Film Festival, and I really want to talk about it because I met some cool people, and also because there were some issues that I really want to talk about that I didn't see anyone else talk about them. So I'm gonna get sued. As the name implies, the Giffoni Film Festival is a festival meant for films, and kids all over the world are divided by age groups to then watch film for their age group and debate on the film, talk about the film, ask questions to the director of the film, and then ultimately vote on which film was the best at the end of the festival. Then the director gets the award, everyone claps, blah blah blah. You've also got special events like movie premieres and premieres in general. You get to meet actors, international and also Italian, and basically this whole festival surrounds the idea of the film industry and how everything works. This is a very brief explanation on what the Giffoni Film Festival is. It is way more than that, and if you're really interested, you can go check their website out because I'm not gonna get into it. So I'm an international kid, or juror as they call them, and if you come from another country that is not Italy, you cannot just go to the film festival. You have to get picked from your country or the organization that you go to. And the way I got picked is that the country I come from, North Macedonia, has somewhat of a branch of Giffoni called Giffoni Macedonia, and basically we do the exact same thing as in Giffoni Italy, but in a way smaller format, and the only difference is that they keep track of what you're saying and how active you are and how you say it to then put that, like, your name into the final selection.
Hi, I'm going to be popping up a lot because I forgot to say a lot of things in the video, and I'm just now realizing it because I'm smart. But if you are more interested to see the journey of how I got picked, even though it isn't really a journey, but whatever, I made a vlog about like one day in Giffoni, Macedonia. It is unfortunately all in Macedonian, but it's still kind of cool, and you can probably guess what's happening, and you can also get the gist of what Giffoni Macedonia is. Nice.
And I got picked to go in October of 2022, and the Giffoni Italy I was going to go to was in July of 2023, which means I waited almost a year to go to this festival, and that means I got my hopes really, really high, and I had really high expectations for some stuff, and those high expectations that I had for Giffoni were almost immediately shut down in the first 3 days, and I want to talk about why, because I feel like it's important. And I also want to say that I didn't see any vlog or review of an international juror talking about Giffoni Italy. I don't know if that's a legal thing, I don't know if this video is gonna get sued, but I still want to talk about it. But that does not mean that I'm not going to talk about the good things and why I still recommend going. But I will first talk and focus on the issues and then end on a good note. Huge disclaimer that this is not a hate video towards Giffoni. It's just my experience. I'm sharing my experience. And if this video gets taken down, oops. So Giffoni has this thing where every year they have international actors, specifically from Hollywood, come to Giffoni and, you know, make interviews. And that's a pretty huge deal, especially for me, because in North Macedonia, we don't get celebrities. We don't. The only celebrity that we've had by now is Tyga. And recently, Steve Aoki. I'm not joking, that's the only celebrity we've had. We don't get celebrities, especially not actors. And I was really excited because I'm an aspiring actor. I want to be an actress, and I had so many questions. And they got canceled. They got canceled the night before I got on my plane to Italy. If you're wondering, the celebrities were Matt Smith and Asa Butterfield. I don't know. But
Yeah.
And why they got canceled, it's because of the strike that's happening in Hollywood, which I 100% support. That's not Giffoni's fault.
Also, keep in mind that in North Macedonia, we have a rule that if you go to Giffoni once, you cannot go again. So, I don't know what that rule is, but you can go again if you're from another country or you submit yourself, but that's way more expensive. So, we kind of got the non-celebrity year out of all the years.
But that was like the first downer that I had, because honestly, the one thing I couldn't wait, and I went, the main reason I was going was because of Matt and Asa, because I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name,
Asa Butterfield.
Whatever. But yeah, that was the first kind of letdown. But that's not Giffoni's fault. What Giffoni's fault is the translations. The first and the biggest issue that I had with Giffoni is that they market themselves as an international film festival. And I'm gonna compare Giffoni Macedonia here to Giffoni Italy. I know it's not a good comparison because in size, Giffoni Macedonia is way easier to, organize. But in Giffoni Macedonia, we had a rule that no matter what you say about the debate or including movies, the hosts, you can only speak in English. It's like a rule. And I thought this was going to be the same in Italy, especially in Italy because it's an international festival. No! Everything, and I mean everything, was in Italian and was supposed to be translated to us in English, which... That's fine. That's not the problem here. The problem is they did not translate most of the things. The only things that were translated from the start were the interviews with the international directors, which they had to translate that because the director doesn't, speak Italian. But it's still kind of an issue, no? The biggest problem is that most of the jury staff do not know English! I am not joking. Multiple jury staff members. I went to them, I would ask a question, and they would either A, not know English, B, get their friend to come, and they would know some English, but then they would not get it, and they would give me the wrong information, and then, it would become a whole mess because I would become, what? And then I would learn from another person that did know English that what they said was wrong, and it's like, what? And by the way, there are also some special events where everything was in Italian, and we did not get translation until the 24th. And the only reason why we got translations is because international jurors were like, hey, we want to know what's happening. And then they were like, oh, okay, fine. You should put the international translations from day one. Hello?
To give credit where credit is due, I think Giffoni did an amazing job of actually fixing the problems that were missing. Yes, they didn't do most of the things from the beginning, but when the jurors were complaining, they would actually fix the problem the next day. So that's very important to note because a lot of festivals just don't care.
And that wouldn't be a problem if they marketed themselves as an Italian festival, which international people can go to because there are some translations. No, I checked on Google before, making this video. Do they market themselves as an international festival? They do, because they had 6,500 people attend that are international. At least that's what they claim. Enough about that, because I feel like I'm ranting, but, at the end of the day, I felt like I came to an Italian festival which had some English translation, and the truth is that's not what Giffoni is. At least that's not what they say they are. And I'm comparing to Giffoni Macedonia because in our country we have to speak English, and everyone felt included. Another thing that I did not get was the workshops. I didn't see anyone really complain about this that much. I think it's because I am experienced, Joking, no. In Giffoni, Macedonia, we have a thing called workshops, and also does Giffoni, Italy. But the difference is that in Giffoni, Italy, they told me that only 18 plus people can go to the workshops. That's not a problem. The problem is that my friends who were 18 plus went to those workshops, and they were all in Italian, with no translation. See my issue? And in Giffoni, Macedonia, we had workshops which everyone had to attend. Now, I will not say that these workshops were fully in English, but that's because I can't make that claim, because I went to a workshop where the guys that were like our mentors, he asked like the general, the people who were in the workshop, like, is anyone here not from Macedonian? And no one raised a hand, so the full workshop was in, Macedonian. But I feel like because they asked that, I would assume that the other workshops that did have international jurors did have the English translations. So again, I am comparing my own little tiny format country to this big ass festival. Not fair comparison, by the way, but I felt like the organization was way better in my own country than in Italy. And it didn't help the fact that every Italian I spoke to said that this was the worst Giffoni of all Giffonis. And also some people told me like, oh, every year is different. You don't know what year you're gonna get, which, why? How is that logical? For 1 year, a kid should be amazed at the festival, and then the other year, the kid should be disappointed that they went and spent money to go to Italy, which a lot of the international jurors went for free, but we had to pay, so I'm very petty about that. And like the first 3 days was generally like just going with the motions. Not joking, that's all it was, because I had nowhere to go. I did not understand anything except the films and competition, and that's basically it. I would go in every morning or like afternoon, go to the film, leave, and just, yeah. That was until I found out what Giffoni experience is. So why is Giffoni good? Why should you go to Giffoni?
The people should come to Giffoni because it's a magical experience that you will remember forever.
I would say, oh yes, you have to, because it's an experience that you won't forget. It's full of people, full of emotions, and I want to do this every year from now on.
Well, it's not so international because, well, yes, but it's an international event, and you not for the films, but for the friendship you can create along the way. I met my best friends here, so yes.
So Giffoni is a place where you can make your voice heard. I think it's very important to say that because it's hard to find places like Giffoni where you can meet like-minded people and just share your passion, not just for movies, because of course it's a film festival, but it was an experience and now it's an opportunity. So it's an opportunity just like to be you, be yourself, and just watch a lot of cool movies, have concerts, and just, I think, try and like build connections that they could last forever.
Giffoni is important not only for seeing films, but for having relationships with other people, so meeting other people and having fun.
Giffoni is a place where no matter where you come from, no matter how introverted you are or extroverted you are, you will eventually have friends and make friends. I've never met so many people in the span of 10 days in my life. Every second I met new people, and it's the beauty of talking to someone that has a different background than you and has an amazing culture behind them, and it's something that I genuinely like. I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't know that I would get so attached. I don't want to say I met people that I just genuinely thought I'd never meet in my life. I went to other people and talked about my interests, and they actually related to my interests. It was so weird, like meeting people that actually want to make films or talk about films and not make it weird. Like it was so like refreshing. It was cleansing. for the first time, I got to film interviews and film clips and film things and like film my surroundings without feeling weird and embarrassed. I generally like it was not a thought that came to me like after I came back home and I started like doing my normal things and filming. I started to have like that uncomfortable feeling. Oh wait, what if they're uncomfortable with that? That doesn't happen in Giffoni. That's like the whole point, and it's so refreshing. I absolutely like recommend it because of that. I keep like crying over the moments I've spent with these people, and I would do anything to go back because unfortunately when the time comes you're gonna have to say goodbye to these people and don't know when you're gonna meet them again, because like the magic of it all, that you get to see them in these 10 days, you get to meet them, get very close to them, and then get separated in a different country, in a different continent, in a different world even. So yeah, my favorite interview that I did, which I didn't do a lot by the way, but the ones that I did do, my favorite was the facilitator Leonardo. I do not know his last name, but he was basically like the person who hosts the whole before watching a movie, the debating, the questioning, and I love this guy. He genuinely loved his job and he cared about what, you know, other people said in terms of issues. I talked about him, you know, some issues that I had, and he actually listened and he made the difference. He also knew the most English out of everyone, and we could communicate with him, you know, amazingly. And I applaud him for that because he was my favorite staff member and like person that worked for Giffoni out of everyone. I love him because he is down to earth, and I feel like every person, every staff member should be like Leonardo because he was amazing. Thank you, I love you, and I hope you keep working for them. Yeah.
It's very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional. We love it. It's like The Office.
I hope you can realize that when I'm doing these interviews, I am using my headphone set, but I could have done it so much better with this microphone, which by the way, I have used this microphone in previous videos for interviews, but you know what the difference is? It's because I didn't have an adapter. I didn't have an adapter for my iPhone so I can connect it, so I had to use those stupid headphones, which by the way, looking back at it now, they actually have a better sound quality, but it's still funnier to use this.
Hi, I'm Leonardo. I am a big weirdo, but I am also a multidisciplinary artist. Here in Giffoni, I am a facilitator of Plus 16, but I'm also a lot of different things. But I think this is it. I've been a juror in Giffoni for like 6 years. Yeah. Wow. I did a lot. I'm old, but yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 23, nearly 24.
You're
but
not that old.
I'm not that old. But yeah, I would say definitely come because you'll meet people like
you.
me.
So as a person who's been in Giffoni for 6 years,
Yes.
tell us, how do you deal with this heat?
So apparently it has always been kind of hot, not this hot. So what I do is drink plenty of water. No, I'm so bad. I'm just a bad drinker. But I need to drink more water. I try to escape. So come to parks around, under trees, and just not reflect on my skin and how I feel on things, and just keep going with life with a great smile, even if it's a fake one, and just don't think that we're collapsing and climate change is real.
If you have something to say to the camera, what would you say to them? You can do whatever you want. You can make a movement. You can run around the playground. You know, this is your special moment. Not really, but because this is not special. But you know, do whatever.
Instinctively, I would say, if you need to scream, people, just do it. Release. And be your true self. Always, no matter what they tell you. This is kind of an abstract, and everyone like says this, but I believe it, and it's something that I think it's relatable to all of us. Don't be afraid to just say politely, this is what I think, and I'm here, so listen to me, please.
So as an international juror, what do you think of the festival?
So it's cool because I like meet new people, like you Macedonian people. I really like you. But like it's a bit complicated because all the stuff here are in Italian and no as much like English. So it's a bit complicated sometimes, but I think I like it. Like yeah, it's a good experience.
Tell us about your free hug sign.
This sign is from last year. I also took this trend last year, and I just think that giving hugs, it's a thing that makes people feel better. And sometimes I think that a hug from someone that you don't know, a stranger, it's better than maybe from someone that you know very well.
How are you experiencing your host? Is everything okay? Do you feel okay, good? Is everything well organized?
Yes, my host family is amazing. They drive us everywhere. They make great food. My host Andrea is also amazing. She talks to everyone. So if I have any questions, she will ask literally everyone. So they're amazing.
What's your favorite thing about Giffoni?
That I get to be with my friends and meet new people like you.
Oh, like me, I'm very special. Do you think a person can be changed by a film, or a film can shape a person's personality?
I think a movie can help to understand things about yourself, about a person, but it can't just change a person. But it can help to think about something and to change, but not just totally change a person. But it can help, and it has to help.
We're here in Giffoni, Italy. What were your first impressions, and how do you feel about now that we're in the last days?
Actually, the first day I came to Giffoni, it was kind of hard because I was like far away from my country, my family and stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, I want to go home. Then I met my host and I tried to like discuss with him and stuff. And it was great, actually. But actually, I love this festival. I'm glad to be there, you know, to meet people, to make new friends from every country and stuff. But there's like, I think, some like things that don't go well in the festival. Like actually the translation, the fact that we are actually in an international festival, but we like the festival like waited for 3 days until like giving us translation, like English translation. It's like very bad because like for the first 3 days, like the first day I was like, okay, so I don't understand anything because I don't speak Italian, but what should I do, you know? But after it got better, now we got English translation for every meetings and stuff, and so it's good. But yeah, actually, I thought that this festival was more international than it is in reality. That's the point. But actually, it's good. You know, it's good to be there. The theater is good. We are with a lot of people, meeting a lot of people, having concerts, fun, films, you know, and yeah, it's very good.
Why do you think it's important for films to include themes that are not always comical or entertaining, like human rights, peace, mental health, etc.?
Well, I think it can be a way to show things that aren't right in today's society and to open people's minds also, which is really important. And cinema is a way to entertain people while educating them. So I think, yeah, it's one of the most important ideas about cinema.
I don't know if you noticed that I changed the accent in a span of 10 minutes because my brain has this thing where it has to copy someone else's accent. It's not even good, and it feels like I'm mocking them, but I'm not. I genuinely, like, I'm doing that without any thought. So I'm sorry that I have 700 different accents. It's just the way my brain works. In general, if you are planning to go to Giffoni or you just got selected, don't pay attention to the things that I said in the first part. Pay attention to the second things, because at the end of the day, if you're going to Giffoni, be relaxed. Be on vacation, basically. Go there to mostly make friends and talk about movies if you have the chance, if the translations are better next year. I'm joking. Go there to have fun. Mostly have fun. So yeah, if you're going, good luck. And if you're planning on going, go.